I'm going to go ahead and show the curves now. And now we're almost in the part where we need to think of how we're going to do the hack and slash part. Will he throw the spear at somebody, or swing slash, or jump and hack? Well, I have something in mind. Let's see if that works out. Let's go ahead and create our next pose here. We kind of need an anticipation pose before he jumps into make that huge leap. Positioning the character to make it look like a huge anticipation for the action. We're not going to add any extra anticipation. This anticipation pose that we're making right now is the part of the whole action here. There is no pause after he gets up from the ground. Positioning the legs here nicely. The hands need to come forth for us to have a pose like he's carrying a spear. We'll add a spear after we're done with the blocking plus and start splining. These latter poses are very intricate and important. It is to define the very meaning of the whole sequence. The weight of his body, the posture, the whole characterization depends on these poses, because here we'll find how angry and powerful this creature is, thus giving us an idea of how and what the creature resembles. I'm not skipping any part here because every move now is important, and it's going to create what we saw in the overview video. Alright, that looks fine. That's a pretty rough pose, but we're going to be back to work on this pose later on. Right now I'm just going to go ahead and save this key here and try to match a kind of a in between for the later and the former and the later pose here. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next pose. Remember, we're still in the first phase of blocking and layout of the shot. A lot of work needs to be done to these poses, which we will, but in time. Okay, here's the jump pose. Remember, I told you in mind, well, I thought I have something in mind. Well, I thought of why not add two kinds of attack, like jump, hack, and swing slash. There will be two actions here, and both will be a bit different to each other, which would make it even more fun to watch. Okay, let's go ahead and define the pose here. The body posture needs to have a nice arc to it. Twisting the torso also indicates the amount of force it's using to tag the enemy. The hand needs to be completely in the air, as it'll hold a spear to swing and slash as the first part of the attack. Go ahead and move the head a little bit, pointing towards the direction of its enemy, and give it a little bit of counter balance to its body. Alright, scrubbing through. Okay, that looks cool. We can also go ahead and exaggerate the poses, and also try to make it, match the former ones, only better. And making sure the hand poses are done correct is very crucial here, because this pose will only reflect if the hand poses are done right. Okay. Giving the hand some nice spear holding angles here. Probably roll the fingers later on when I actually let him hold a spear during the blocking plus or splining process. Let me go ahead and show you how the spear will be held high. Pardon my mouse drawing abilities. Alright, this is the way it's gonna hold the spear here, from the backhand and to the right. Let me go ahead and draw it again for you. Basically what I'm doing is drawing on top of the already done pose there, just to kind of show you what I'm planning here. The character jumps and right in front of his enemy and tries to hit the enemy with that spear. The enemy is overwhelmed and is very frightened right now because I'm seeing a spear coming towards him. So this is basically going to be super fun animating it. But we're not going to add those extra, characters in there. Just the main protagonist. Oh, he's got hair, look at that. Okay. So yeah, that's how I planned it. Okay, so this first part of the jump and like slash and hack, there will be two parts of it, and in the second part it'll have the hack, the final hack to its enemy, most probably from the right side. I'm gonna shift some of the keys here just to give some nice timing change here. The run cycle needs to be a bit fast, so I'm shifting almost all the keys. Alright, that looks pretty fine to me. Okay, that kind of looks okay right now. Let me try and polish some of these run and jump poses before moving further. This is important because every action needs to look convincing. Because when he does that hack and slash, one should understand how he got there. He got there by this two-step run cycle followed by this jump in the air. So that part needs to be understood as well. Now there's a lot to animating run cycles which I won't go through in this lecture. Maybe in the future lectures I come up with this video class on human, animal, and other kinds of walk cycles. That'll definitely be a fun lesson to learn. Let me know what you think about that. Message me if you think a class on walk cycles would be awesome, so I could prepare one for you. Anyways, back to the chapter now. Here I'm using the internet. I'll try to get some of the similar air poses. For instance, basketball dunk pose. Yep, that should do. Go to images and write this first picture here. This basically is the pose that we're looking for, but we definitely need to change it a bit to come close to the pose we want. Let me explain by drawing it to you. Your hands are going to be up in the air to hold the spear up high. So yeah, this is how it's going to be. The pointy end would be downwards in his hand, and obviously the eyes are looking down at the opponent. This looks Alright, moving on now. This looks really cool. Oh, that's the moon.